Hi, hello, and a very warm welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to discuss how to set up an online selling business. I'm going to discuss everything there is to setting up an online selling business so that by the end of this video, you're very well informed about how to go about it and what it actually entails. Now, I can imagine that you may have dreams of quitting the rat race to start your own business online. Now, that definitely has a lot of advantages. You can wake up as early as 10 o'clock in the morning, work in your pajamas, take long weekends whenever you like, and let's face it, you're answerable to nobody because you are the boss. Or maybe you just want a few extra bucks in your back pocket. Now, whatever your reason for wanting to start selling online, e-commerce offers huge opportunities for anyone with an internet connection. Of all the ways of making money online, it's perhaps one of the easiest to understand and get started with. Now, what do you need to know before you begin? Before you get started investing time and money into an online business, you want to be sure that selling online is right for you. So I will begin by letting you think about the pros of selling online. Now, while working from home in your pajamas is definitely a plus, there are plenty of other amazing reasons to work from home while building your own e-commerce business. Like I said, you can work from home, make your own hours, and choose how far you want to take it. The possibilities are endless. There really is no glass ceiling, which means no boss to suck up to, so it's pure freedom. It's something that you're probably already familiar with. If you've bought or sold something online, you basically understand how it works, which ultimately makes selling online an easier skill to grasp than many other home business options. Also, you have the chance to follow your own interests. Now, for example, are you passionate about fishing, cake decorating, refurbishing? Now, when you start selling online, you can turn your hobbies and passions into a profitable business. Also, it's not as difficult or risky as starting a traditional business. You don't have to invest a lot of money when you're first getting started. Not to mention, you want to have to worry about buying or leasing a physical property. It has very low barrier to entry, which means practically anyone can give it a go. Also, you don't have to worry about storing inventory if you don't want to. It's fun, at least I think it is. And the cons of selling online are also there. It is also important to think about that. Like anything in life, selling online comes with a few downsides. It's important that you're aware of this before you begin, so you set yourself realistic expectations. Now, it takes time. That's the first thing that I would like to point out. It takes time. It may take you a month or two to start seeing consistent results, for example. The chances of you accumulating more than $100 worth of sales on your first day is, well, let's face it, a little bit unlikely. There is also a learning curve. I mean, if you've sold a few things online before, you already are one step ahead of your competitors. However, you will need to step up your game to sell online professionally. Now, the other con about selling online is that you wear all the hats. As a business owner, you are an incredible team of one, at least starting out. You'll take on the roles of accountant, marketer, web designer, as well as everything else. Now, this also means that you shoulder all the responsibility. And if something goes wrong, you can't really blame anyone else but yourself. Now, also, it's not all passive income. You'll hopefully be dealing with regular sales, regular shipments, and regular customer inquiries, which means that your business will require you to do real work and invest time and effort. Now, that is until you can afford to hire staff. Now, even then, you'll want to remain involved in everything that happens. To simplify it, it really isn't a get-rich-quick sort of scheme. But if you're happy to spend a little time building a reputation, developing your brand, and optimizing your processes, the sky's the limit. Now, the other thing that is very, very important when you're setting up an online business is that you need to choose an e-commerce business model. You have to think about the business model. Now, there are several different business models to consider before you start selling online, and each one of them comes with pros and cons. Now, you will want to think carefully about which business model is best for you. They all require different levels of financial investment and will determine how you structure your business. Now, the simplicity of it all is that I'm going to take you through all the different types of business models. Now, the first one is drop shipping. Okay, drop shipping. Now, drop shipping is the darling of the e-commerce world. Now, why? Because the barrier to entry is so low. You don't need to make any financial investment to get started at all, meaning you won't pay a cent until you make a sale. So drop shipping is a business model that might appeal to you. Now, that means you don't need to place any large orders or store excess stock. You just need to decide what you want to sell, find a supplier that provides dropshipping services, list your products on your preferred online marketplace, and start selling. Now, basically, your supplier does most of the heavy lifting, and your main job is to make sales. Simple, right? Now, let me explain a little bit about how drop shipping actually works. Now, first, a customer purchases a product from your online store, and secondly, you place an order for that product with your supplier at a wholesale price. And the third step is that your supplier packages and ships the product directly to your customer. So with drop shipping, the first step is that a customer purchases a product from your online store at a retail price. And the next step is that you place an order for that product with your supplier at a wholesale price. And then the third stage is that your supplier packages and ships the product directly to your customer. So when it comes to drop shipping, your supplier does most of the heavy lifting and your main job is actually to make sales. Now, the second business model that you might want to think about is sourcing from wholesalers. Sourcing from wholesalers. Now, sourcing products from wholesalers is a more traditional retail business model. It's used by brick and mortar stores and e-commerce stores alike. Now, once you have decided on what products you're going to sell, you find a reliable wholesaler and buy the products in bulk. Now, getting the best price usually requires some negotiation, but buying in bulk requires that you have significant cash to spend upfront. The upside is that you'll usually get your products at a cheaper price than you would with drop shipping. That means higher profit margins for you every time you make a sale. So unlike drop shipping, with when you source directly from wholesalers, then usually you get your products at a cheaper price than you would with drop shipping. And that automatically means higher profit margins for you every single time that you make a sale. Now, once you've ordered the products, it's up to you to arrange storage, to list them for sale online, and to organize shipping. Alternatively, you can use a third-party fulfillment service like Amazon FBA or ShipBob to handle the packaging and shipping for you. However, this comes at an added cost that eats into your profit margins. Now, so you can see how sourcing from wholesalers can be more labor intensive than drop shipping, but the financial benefits can make the extra work worth it. Now, the third business model that I would like to shed light on is sourcing from manufacturers. Now, sourcing a product from the manufacturer is a similar process to sourcing from a wholesaler. The main difference is that you can work with a manufacturer to create your own product or a private label product. Now, the initial investment is higher as you're creating something new, but if you want to build a brand and sell a unique product, then sourcing from a manufacturer is the business model for you. Now, there are a lot more hoops to jump through in terms of product development, design, testing, packaging, and legal obligations. So yes, there are more hoops to jump in terms of product development, design, testing, packaging, and legal obligations. But if you're ready to set in for the long haul and build a business that you can differentiate from the majority of online sellers, then sourcing direct from manufacturers is a good option. Now, the other model, the fourth business model that I would like to bring to your attention is making and selling your own products. Now, if you're creative, artistic, or you have a unique skill, then by all means, you can make your own products and sell them online. Now, whether you crochet beanies, for example, or you build wooden chopping boards or engineer new technologies in your bedroom, there's bound to be a market for your creations. Think of it as turning your hobby into a business. Now, you can even start selling your own products as a side hustle while you're still working. And if you're successful, you may be able to turn it into your full-time job. Now, the main thing with selling your own products is that all of the responsibility is on your shoulders. You can only sell as much as you make, so you have to invest your own time into production. And the main benefit is that aside from the cost of the materials and your time, you don't have to make a significant investment up front. You also don't have to rely on suppliers. It's all on you. Now that I have shed some light on the different business models that may appeal to you when you're setting up an online business, now let's get into the actual steps on how to set up an online selling business. Now, step one is choosing what to sell. Now, you've probably thought about this step already. In fact, most people start by thinking of products they can sell online and then they go from there. So what starts as a daydream at the office often flourishes into a successful business. So be careful what you wish for. Now, choosing what to sell is arguably the most important decision you will make, as it will determine the demand for your product, price and profitability, as well as market competition, sales, and marketing. It's also one of the hardest decisions you will probably have to make. Of the billions of products out there, how do you know which one to sell? Now, for the full rundown on choosing a product to sell, you may have a look at a video that I've just uploaded about 40 of the best drop shipping products in the market. You may want to have a look at that video, but in general you're looking for a product that meets a few requirements. Now when you're choosing a product, the first thing you need to think about is can you make a profit on it? Now don't forget to think about things like shipping, packaging, marketplace fees, before you decide on how much profit you can actually make at the end. Secondly, is there reasonable demand for it? Is there demand for the product? Now, one of the common mistakes new sellers make is diving into selling a particular product without checking the demand. Please don't be that person stuck with a garage full of things you can't sell. The third thing, when you're choosing the product to sell, think about the competition. Is the competition too intense, for example? Now, competition can really drive down your profits, particularly when there isn't enough demand to meet it. Now, when a bunch of sellers are competing for a small pool of buyers, things can really get ugly. So when you're choosing what sort of product to sell, think in terms of, can I make a profit on it? Is there a reasonable demand for it? And is the competition bearable, or is it too intense? Now, what can you actually sell online? Now, let's face it, almost anything. However, if you want to be successful at selling online, then you should definitely choose your products that meet the criteria that I have talked about, but also think in terms of products related to your interests. Now, the first thing you should do to get ideas for what to sell is to brainstorm your hobbies, the things that you're interested in. Now, the reason why this can be a good idea is that you're more likely to be invested in selling products you're interested in. You'll also have a certain level of expertise that can help inform your business decisions. Once you have identified your hobbies, try and think, outside the box to generate product ideas that aren't so obvious. The more specific your niche is, the better. Also, think about products that you discover online. Try to become intimately familiar with products that are selling well on the most popular online marketplaces, for example, on Amazon, eBay, AliExpress, and Alibaba. Now, obviously, you don't want to sell products that are already doing well in highly competitive markets. But often, those hot products can give you ideas for similar or complementary and less competitive options. Also, think about products that are backed by market research. Now, you can do your own market research or use a tool like Saleswho's, for example, to do the heavy lifting for you. Saleswho Labs uses data from Amazon and eBay to determine the sale rate, the average retail price, and competition for a massive range of products, really. So you may want to have a look at Saleswho's tool, Market Research Lab, just to verify products that are backed by market research. Now, what products are selling best online? That is definitely something that you will really need to reflect on deeply. Now, as you will know from your own market research, there's a wide range of products that are selling well online. The thing is that once a product becomes a bestseller, it's probably too late to start selling it, as the market quickly becomes saturated. So you need to learn to anticipate trends or identify ways to sell items that are similar or complementary to best-selling products. However, according to a bit of research that I have done based on data, I'm going to give you just 5 product niches that are always selling very well. You'll just need a bit of creativity and a dash of intuition here and there to discover the next best-selling product. But think about blocks and Lego products. Blocks and Lego products tend to sell quite well. Also, think about the home decor niche. Thirdly, think about pet supplies. Fourthly, think about baby supplies. And the fifth one I would suggest to you is coffee accessories. Now, another strategy to consider is selling products that tap into consumers' physiological needs. Think of, for example, products that tap into consumer needs, such as self-actualization, that is the desire to become the most one can be. Think about products that appeal to self-esteem, love and belonging, for example, safety, or physiological needs like air, water, food, shelter, sleep, clothing, and reproduction. If you can identify products that fit into these deep-seated human desires, that is self-actualization, esteem, love and belonging, safety, and physiological needs, then you are almost guaranteed to have success selling them. Now, the second step when it comes to setting up an online business, remember the first step that I have discussed at length is choosing what to sell. Now, the second step is, once you have chosen what to sell, is finding suppliers. Step 2 is finding suppliers. Now, once you've decided on a product to start selling online, all you need to do is find a reliable supplier for that product. Now, finding a supplier is probably the second most time-consuming part of your selling online. And also, it comes with a raft of booby traps to avoid, so be careful. A supplier is one of your most important business partners, so you want to make sure you choose the right one. Now, your business model will largely determine what type of supplier you work with. Now, there are several ways to look for suppliers. I'm going to suggest a few of them to you. The first one is, you can look for suppliers through Sell Who's supplier directory. That is Sell Who's supplier directory. Sell Who is SALEHWO. SALEHWO. So you can use Sell Who's supplier directory. Sell Who can help you save time and minimize a risk when choosing a supplier, because Sell Who's directory has more than 8,000 legitimate local suppliers of a massive range of products located all over the world, actually. And Sell Who's staff check verify all suppliers before adding them to the directory, so you can be confident that they are reliable and trustworthy. The other place that I would suggest for you to find suppliers is finding dropship suppliers. Now, if you want to go at it alone, you can use search engines like Google or online marketplaces like Alibaba and AliExpress to find dropship suppliers. It takes a lot more time, and you have to watch out for fraudulent businesses and scams. But if you're willing to invest the effort, you can find good dropship suppliers this way. Now, start by searching your product and dropshipper and go from there. Now, on websites like Alibaba, you can contact suppliers directly and ask if they provide dropshipping services. The other way of finding suppliers is through wholesale, finding wholesale suppliers. Now, Google is going to be your friend for this when it comes to finding wholesale suppliers. However, you should be aware that often the best suppliers don't have a lot of time and money to invest in marketing, and their websites can look really cheap, so they can be hard to find online. But if you want to secure the best deal, you have to do a lot of groundwork. And one way around this is to work with local wholesale suppliers, or to visit trade shows and meet suppliers face to face. That is the old-fashioned way, really. Now, a lot of the sellers on Alibaba, for example, or AliExpress, and other major online marketplaces will be wholesalers. So you can contact them and make inquiries. Remember, if you want a shortcut, there's always Sell Who. Now, the third way through which you could find suppliers is through manufacturers. Finding manufacturers, you can find manufacturers much the same ways as you would find other suppliers on Google, on Sell Who, and popular online retail sites. But if you're getting them to manufacture your product, there are just a whole lot more boxes to add to your checklist. So you need to be even more vigilant and ensure that you do due diligence. Ideally, this means visiting the factory, meeting the manufacturer, and testing their products and services before committing your first order. Now, finding a great manufacturer is essential to the success of your business. Now, the other thing is, how do you contact suppliers? So if you've found a few suppliers that you want to reach out to, how do you contact them? This sounds really simple as flicking them a quick email, but you should know that the best supplier gets contacted by a lot of aspiring online sellers every day. So if you don't make a good first impression, chances are they'll just ignore you. And you don't want that to happen. So you need to know what suppliers want in a potential customer or business relationship. And you should also know what you want from the supplier, obviously. Now, I'm going to give you top 5 things that a supplier is looking for when you contact them. The first one, they're looking for a serious buyer, a serious buyer mentality sort of thing. Secondly, they expect you to be clear, concise, and concise in how you communicate with them. Thirdly, they obviously expect some good manners. Fourthly, they want long-term customers. And the fifth one is that they want low-risk relationships. So the best way to achieve these objectives is by doing your research and not overloading the supplier with questions. Whenever possible, it's always best to opt for a telephone call. Now, email is okay, but it doesn't give you that personal interaction, which can help you determine whether the supplier is legitimate, an expert, and professional, in what they do. The next thing you want to do is negotiate with the suppliers. So you've contacted a suitable supplier and you're ready to commit. Now, the times come for you to really get down and negotiate your deal. Remember, your goal is to be able to source your products for less than what you'll eventually sell them for. So every little discount you can get will count towards your profits. So how do you get a better deal from your supplier? I'll give you a few tips. First tip, if you want to get a better deal from your supplier, order in bulk. The more you order, the better the price you can negotiate. And if you're just starting out, this might not be an option, I understand, but it's something to consider later on, especially if this product seems to be working well for you. Now, secondly, develop a relationship with your supplier. As you work with your supplier and show them you're serious and consistent, most of them will help you out by offering discounts and other bonuses. Now, if they don't offer, try asking. You have nothing to lose. And if your business is valuable to them, they'll try anything to keep you happy. Thirdly, buy from the source, that is the manufacturer if possible. If you can afford to order in bulk, buying directly from the manufacturer of the product rather than a wholesaler will give you the best prices. If you're not in a position to buy in bulk, consider splitting the cost with other sellers. Now, you can sometimes find partners on wholesale forums, like for example, on Sale Who, and arrange to split a shipment. Now, the third step when it comes to setting up an online business is setting up your actual business, okay? Setting up your business. Now, so you've got all the ingredients to launch your online business. Now you just need to make everything official. Now every country has different requirements when it comes to setting up a business. So it's always a good idea to speak to an accountant or a lawyer to get professional advice. However, to make sure you're getting started on the right foot, I'm going to give you 4 pointers that you need to consider when setting up your business. Firstly, choosing a business name. Choosing a business name. Now, make sure it's something you feel comfortable broadcasting via your social channels as well as in person. For example, don't name your business Miss K's Underwear. Even if you're selling underwear, who's going to want to share or even click on a store's social page if they think it's a joke? So please make sure your business name is on brand. Even better, choose something original so that the .com domain name is still available. Okay, so choose a business name that is a kind of a brand name, and even better, please choose something original so that your .com domain name will still be available. The next step is registering your business. Okay, registering your business. Now, business regulations are different across countries, and for example, in the United States, they vary from city to city and state to state. A simple Google search of your country and city will tell you whether you need to register your business in order to operate legally. Now, the other thing is applying for a sales tax ID, or what we call resellers license. So you need to apply for a sales tax ID or resellers license. Now, if you're serious about starting an online retail business and sourcing products from wholesalers, you will, especially in the United States, you'll need a sales tax ID. Now, a sales tax ID is a number you obtain from your state or local government that allows you to charge sales tax whenever a buyer in your state, country, or city purchases an item from you, even if it's an online purchase. Note, this is only relevant for businesses in the United States or with customers in the United States. The next stage is setting up payment options for your store. Now, when you launch your online store, you want to be ready to start accepting money, and that means you need to offer a range of payment options for your customers. These days, it's common for online stores to cater for credit cards, PayPal, Stripe, Afterpay, and so on. Now, you don't need to be signed up to every payment option, but the more flexible you are, the more sales you will make. Now, the fourth step when it comes to setting an online business is choosing what platforms to sell on. Choosing what platforms to sell on. Now that you know what you're selling and your business is set up legally, it's time to choose where you want to sell. There are a lot of questions, but how do you know which is the best for you? I wish I could tell you that a specific online marketplace is the best one for you, but it really depends on what you're selling and what you're hoping to achieve with your business. Each platform has its own pros and cons, so it pays to do a bit of research into a few different platforms before deciding which one you will use to start selling online. Now, what should you look for in an online store solution? I mean, you should consider, for example, you should consider starting your own online store using a platform like Shopify, so you don't have to compete in a crowded marketplace like Amazon or eBay. Okay, so when it comes to choosing the best platform to sell online, you can simply just decide to start selling your products. And not you can decide to set up your online store using a platform like Shopify, and unless you want, you also have Amazon or eBay, for example. Now, what should you look for in an online store solution? First of all, when you're thinking of where you should set up your online store, on what platform, think about how many users the platform already has. The more users, the more potential customers for your business. That's almost always a good thing. Also, think about how many sellers the platform does have. The more sellers, particularly sellers in your niche, the more competition you'll have. So it's a good idea to weigh up the number of sellers against the number of potential customers. Also, when you're choosing the platform where you want to begin your online shop, think about the sellers. What sellers fees do you have to pay? Now, every fee eats into your profit margin, so do the calculation to see what the platform is going to cost you. Also, what type of goods are you selling? Some platforms are more suited to specific types of products. For instance, Etsy has a reputation as being great for arts, crafts, and creative goods. Also, think about how reliable the platform is. Are you confident the platform will exist 10 years from now, for example? I know it's hard to know, but if you build your business and customer base on a particular platform, you want to be sure it's going to stick around for a long time. Also, how much flexibility does the platform allow you? Now, some online marketplaces have strict guidelines you have to follow. If you make a mistake, your account can be suspended. Whereas with your own website, you have complete freedom. It's up to you to decide what's best for you. Now, I'm just going to give you a few platforms where you could sell, where you could actually set up your online store. You have Amazon, you have Etsy, that is ETSY. You have Bonanza, that is BONANZA. You have Craigslist, that is CRAIGSILST. You have eBid, that is EBID. You have Rakuten, that is RAKUTEN. You have Newegg. Newegg is NEWEGG. You have eCrater, that is ECRATER. You have Rubilane, that is RUBYLANE. And you have Walmart, that is WALMART. Now, so where can you sell your products online? Now, there are a lot of platforms that I have already pointed out to you. So I'm just going to give you a bit of insight into some of them. The first one is eBay. Now, you're probably already familiar with eBay being the big daddy of the online auction sites. Now, eBay is great for selling all kinds of products, such as goods, used goods, and one-off items you've purchased from liquidation sales, for example. The thing with eBay is that the prices can be pretty low, and for many products, it can be hard to make a profit. So you'll need to make sure you're choosing the right product when dipping into the eBay market. The other one is Amazon. Now, Amazon is a bit more high-end than eBay, mainly because they have a rigorous screening process you have to go through just to sell on their platform. That said, you can sell products at a much higher price than eBay. They also have more site traffic, and people will see you as an actual store rather than just a regular Joe selling bits and bobs from around the house. Now, let's not forget that Amazon has FBA, an FBA program, which you can use to have them store and ship your products for you. Now, this can allow you to grow your business without needing to hire more staff to help you pack and ship goods. Now, what about your own website? Now, having your own store gives you greater freedom, let's face it, less competition and no seller fees, but it's a little trickier to set up. You can use platforms like Shopify to easily set up an online store or integrate a plugin like WooCommerce with your WordPress site. Now, there are other alternatives, other online platforms like I've talked about, such as Etsy and Bonanza, that you may also want to have a look at. Now, the fifth step on setting up an online business is marketing strategies for your online store. Now, once your online store is up and running, you need to attract customers to your listings or to your website. And this is where your marketing strategy comes in. You can just sit back and expect the money to start rolling in. No, it's time to get to work. Now, how do you actually do the marketing? Now, you've already got the first ingredient to running a successful online store, a great product, but there are several other factors you need to get right from the beginning to ensure long-term success. First, good quality copy in your listings. The words you use to sell your products should sell the benefits to your customers. Don't just use the description the supplier provides. Inject some fun into it and personality into your listings with your creative copy. So when you're writing a description of the products, think about words that are going to project the benefits of the products to your customers. Don't just use the description the supplier provides. Try and inject some fun and personality into your listings with creativity. The next thing is that you need good quality photos, okay? You'll be surprised how many people decide to buy something based on a photo. Make sure your photos are high quality and show the product at all angles. Include an in-scale image and highlight important features. Great photography is an easy way to set your listings apart from the rest. Also, think about your marketing strategy. You should have a plan for how to promote your business outside of your chosen platform so that you can attract more customers to your listings and make more sales. This should include paid and organic marketing methods, for example, Facebook advertising and email list building. The next thing, think about ask customers for reviews, okay? Positive reviews, really, they tell potential customers that you are a trustworthy seller with a good product. So you should ask your customers to leave reviews in order to put your future customers at ease when they land on your listings. Now, how do you become a good seller? Because that is also part of your success selling your products online. How do you become a good seller? Now, first, provide excellent customer service. Treat every interaction with a customer as though they are your first and last customer. Be polite and honest and provide all of the information they ask for. Your customers are your business lifeblood, really. Without them, you don't really have a business at all. Secondly, provide them with fast shipping. Customers expect to receive their products quickly. Now, often the next day. If you're drop shipping products from China, make sure your customers understand that and have some other benefits, such as a lower price that makes the wait worth it. Also, aim to be always be improving. Now, immerse yourself in the world of e-commerce. Try and pick up on trends before your competition. Offer additional services or benefits to your customers. Be adaptable and don't become complacent. The online world changes rapidly and you need to be ready to change with it. Now, also enjoy the ride. Now, starting your own business should be exciting and fun and potentially provide you with the freedom to work for yourself full time. So try and take the time to appreciate the experience and be thankful that you're not stuck in an office working a job you don't like that much. Now, when you're enjoying your work, you're more likely to succeed. Now, finally, let's reflect on how can I market my product online for free? Can you market your product online for free? Now, when you're starting out selling online, you probably won't have a big marketing budget like major retail brands. In fact, you might not have any money to put aside for marketing. Thankfully, there are a lot of ways you can market your products online for free, as long as you're willing to invest some time into learning how to do it. I'm just going to give you a few pointers. Firstly, through social media marketing. Now, every business worth its weight in salt should have a social media presence. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Twitter. They are all great for promoting business and products, and you don't have to spend a cent. You can build an audience simply by sharing interesting and engaging photos and content associated with your product or niche. Secondly, think about starting a blog. Blogging is still one of the most popular content marketing methods. If you're selling outdoor or hiking equipment, why not start a blog on your website that your audience will enjoy? It can be great for SEO and will likely help convert customers over time. Also, you can start a YouTube channel. Vlogging is another option. If you're good in front of a camera and having something interesting to say, why not set up a YouTube channel and start talking to your audience and customers about your products that way? The other thing is positive PR. Positive PR can help you do something that's newsworthy. You'll have to get creative, but if you can do something that generates media attention for your business, that's some of the best free marketing you can get. Just make sure it's not a cheap stunt that could end up doing damage to your reputation. Also, when it comes to marketing, think about competitions. Try giving some of your products away through competitions that you can run on whatever social media or website channels you're using. It might not be 100% free, but it can make a great way to draw attention to your business and products. Now, you can also think about paid marketing strategy for your online store. If you have some money to spend on paid advertising, it can definitely be a worthwhile investment, really. Paid advertising is going to allow you to target specific audiences with your products and generate traffic to your listings immediately. Now, paid advertising is the only method that some online sellers, especially drop shippers, use to make sales. If you can, it's optimal to use a mix of free and paid marketing to give your online store the best chance of success. Now, where can you actually do this? Think about Facebook ads, for example. Now, Facebook is the world's largest social media platform with 2.4 billion users. It also has one of the most advanced advertising platforms that allows you to target people based on their location, age, gender, interest, and online behavior. Now, this is an extremely powerful tool for online sellers. And well, I know it does cost money, but you can start with a strategy that costs just $10 to $20 a day. And once you find an advertisement that's working and converting customers, you can start spending more. The other one would be Instagram ads. Now, Facebook owns Instagram, so the ads you set up on Facebook can also run on Instagram, and you can choose to run ads on Instagram as posts or stories, and you can target people the same way that you can with Facebook. You just want to create ads that are native to the platform, meaning they don't look like ads and blend in. Also, you can think about Google Ads. Now, Google is world's most used search engine. So Google Ads lets you place ads with search results. You know those recommended links you see at the top of search results? Now, those are paid ads. So Google also allows you to target specific keywords relevant to your product or niche. And yeah, you can set up a monthly cap on how much you're willing to spend on your Google ads, but the average cost is said to be between $1 to $2 per click. So Google owns YouTube, which is another platform to consider advertising on. Now, the other thing that I would want to shed some light on is creating a brand for your online store. A great way to differentiate your online store from the masses is by creating a professional and a recognized brand. When creating a brand, make sure it meets some of these criteria. Make sure that it's simple, memorable, and professional. Make sure that it's original. Check that the domain name is available. Make sure that it aligns with your business, its values, and aesthetic. And make sure that you won't be embarrassed of it in 10 years to come. Now, I hope that this video really has shed a lot of light on how to set up an online selling business. I think it's more of a one-on-one, you know, on how to set up an online selling business. I have delved into all areas, and I really hope that I have shed light in all those questions that you have been asking yourself. Now, if you found this video helpful, kindly give this video a thumbs up, but also do not forget to subscribe to this channel and share the video with anybody else who may benefit from the content. Now, remember that this channel is all about money. If it has anything to do with money, I upload it, because really my goal is to help you to thrive in all areas of your life financially and help you to grow your wealth. So subscribe to the channel and join this family. Now, thank you very much, and I shall see you in our next video. Bye bye.